Fresh off signing a new one-year deal, Robert Church hopes there's still another playoff run in line for the Saskatchewan Rush. Jeff Teat's got 199 assists in his young career. He would like to add a playoff date to that career. Good evening and welcome to Saskatoon as the NLL's March to May continues as these two teams haven't played each other in 4 years. The Rush and Riptide will play each other twice in 7 days, and these games will mean a whole lot as we move towards the playoffs. A look at the unified standings through week 16, and the Riptide are sitting in a playoff spot. The Rush are clipping at their heels, and who knows, however these two game goes, one of these teams could be in the playoffs. Welcome inside the broadcast booth alongside Brad Challoner. My name is Teddy Jenner. We'll hear from Chantel Chan momentarily, but Brad, 2 games, 7 days, it doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, the chess match starts right now. And talking to both head coaches this week, Teddy, it's really the chess match on the defensive end of things. How they want to play, how they want to dictate the opposing team's offense. But for the offense, when you're playing against a foe that you don't know very well, it's about getting familiar, getting the feel. If you're Jeff Teat, you don't know what a Jarrett Smith cross-check feels like yet. So they got to get out there and feel the tempo, feel the pace, and it's the second half of these games where things really start to take over and the chess match really sort of plays out.
The big news for the Saskatchewan Rush was the re-signing of Robert Church. He's got a boatload of points, and he's been the cornerstone of this franchise for the last couple of years, especially now with Mark Matthews moving on. He was great last week against Buffalo. He's going to have to be even better tonight.
Was going to be a UFA this summer, and every team in the National Lacrosse League would have been phoning Robert Church to try to convince them to come join his club, but he's going to stay with the Saskatchewan Rush, a team that's been outside of the playoffs 2 years in a row, right now on the outside looking in, but he has faith in what this team's building, and it's just permeating through the locker room, through the young guys on this roster, that he's going to be here and be their catalyst. That's so big for the future of this organization.
Bar Down Bobby is with Chantel Chan.
Rob, you signed a 1-year extension with the club, staying here in Saskatoon. Tell me your reason for that.
Yeah, just happy to be here. I think the team's going the right direction, and we've built something good, so we want to keep it going, and kind of starts tonight.
Back-to-back games against the Riptide. What do you guys need to do here tonight to get the win?
Yeah, we just got to play a full 60. We're both kind of in the same situation, battling for a playoff spot, so these 2 games are going to be really crucial for our season.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
It'll be a big night for Robert Church. It'll also be a big night for Taggart Clark, as he was traded from Philadelphia to New York for a first-round pick and a third-round pick. That first-round pick could be a very high one for the Wings. But for New York, Brad, getting a guy like Taggart Clark really brings depth to their right side.
Yeah, they wanted to bring some youth and athleticism to their right side, some energy. And they really like the way that Taggart Clark's going to fit into this offense. They swing the ball really well, so as long as he's moving his feet and getting to open areas, going to keep his stick up, and Jeff Teat will find him. So they like what he's going to bring to this offense. 7 goals in 7 games with Philadelphia this season brings some youthful energy, and they're happy to get him in the lineup tonight.
The depth for this New York team is there. Kyle Matisse, Connor Kieran, obviously the leaders on that right side, but Austin McDronach still getting his feet wet in the NLL, and of course Taggart Clark playing his first game with the Riptide, and he's down on the floor with Chantel Chan.
Taggart, you were traded before the deadline from Philly. Philly fans were really upset about it, but your thoughts and your emotions when you found out?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of a crazy week, moving and trying to relocate and stuff, but happy I'm here and ready to go for tonight.
Because of the unified standings, every game is so much more important. A back-to-back against the Rush. What do you guys need to do to get the win against them?
Yeah, it's definitely important, especially when you're kind of in playoff mode right now. We're trying to get the best of them tonight and then turn it around next week and then get the best of them again. So let's focus on tonight first, though.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
One game at a time is a message from Taggart Clark. It's the Riptide and the Rush. Game 2 of the NLL on TSN doubleheader from Saskatoon is coming up next. More in this matchup to the third member of our team, Chantel Chan.
Jeff T playing his first career game here against the Saskatchewan Rush, and you can easily argue that he's the best player in the league. Now, before the slate of games for the NLL tonight, Jeff T was second in points, tied with Buffalo's Josh Byrne, and he also had 39 goals, which was second in the league. Now, we could easily say that, like I mentioned, he's the best player in the league, and Robert Church believes that too. I asked him what the team would have to do against him tonight, and he said, well, you're not going to stop Jeff T. You have to try and slow him down. Rob says he's never played against him, but he knows how special of a player he is. Rob mentioned that everything that New York does runs through Jeff T. So it's just about trying to limit his opportunities, guys.
Thank you, Chantel. Jeff Shatler in the house being recognized here inside Rush Nation. Your starting goaltenders for tonight's matchup, there's Cam Dunkerley. He got his first ever NLL win here in this barn when he was a member of the Saskatchewan Rush. At the other end, his former teammate, Frank Giuliano, has been great this year. Going to have to be even better down the stretch for Saskatchewan. Your officials, Chris Williams, Ryan Wilson, Nick Dos Santos, and Tanner Fetch in the box. It'll be Jay Thornburg, Mike Messenger at the dot, and we are underway from Saskatoon. And early on, Thornburg gets called for procedure, so Saskatchewan will have first possession. And both these teams, Brad, want to get off to a hot start.
Yeah, I think Saskatchewan, they push the pace. And for the New York Riptide tonight, they're going to want to try to match that tempo that Saskatchewan's going to bring. Saskatchewan's had the upper hand in the transition game, and they're going to run tonight.
Church behind the net to Man scores! Set play right away, and Zach Vance goes flying from behind the net. 1-0 Rush.
What a start. And what a dish from Robert Church. Fresh one-year deal. And proving his worth seconds into this contest as Mans places himself behind the net. They make quick work of this. Before the decision can even be made by the Riptide defense, Callum Jones doesn't chase. He's going to play on top of the crease, and a nice dunk by the athletic Mans. 1-0 Saskatchewan.
We could see a lot of dunk goals in tonight's game between Mans, Larson Sundown, and New York. Defenses are going to have to adjust if a guy goes behind the net. Zach Mans gets his 22nd of the season. Came over from Toronto in an off-season deal along with Adam Jay that sent Mark Matthews to the Rock. Here comes Connor Kieran now as Riptide have their first possession. Late man is Riley O'Connor. He has it now near side to Sundown. He's out there with Jeff T. T now with it, takes a shot, and he picks the top corner. 2 shots, 2 goals. It's 1-1, just 41 seconds in.
And sit back and just be mystified by this Jeff T shot. Welcome to Saskatchewan. We mentioned when you're playing against a team or players you haven't played against before, you don't know how quick or how deceptive he is yet until you get on the floor and get on the hands and try to defend Jeff T. And that's quick ball movement and such a quick release. And a quick lesson for Bobby Kidd that you can't give him that much space.
You're going to have to get sticks in his hands all night long. You'll never really see him shoot the ball as hard as he can. It is just so well placed each and every time he shoots. And that's just one of the things that makes him one of the best players in the NLL. This ball picked up by Zach Deacon. Up ahead to T. He's got Madronic cutting through the middle. Madronic also a former member of this Rush team. Now a member of the Riptide, has it now in the far corner. Watched by Boudreau. Gets a pick from Clark. Now Connor Kiernan. T around the double screen, thought about it. Now Clark, 8 on the shot clock. Turns the corner, can he get his hands free? Gets down the middle, and had it nicely checked out of his stick by Boudreau. Late in the shot clock, and they won't get a shot off. Good defense there by Jake Boudreau.
Yeah, great trail check on Clark, who got some good positioning. That's what they want to see. They want to see him sweep the top, use some athleticism, get a shot on the run. But Boudreau denies first attempt from the young Clark.
Walter Clark to Keenan, scores! Check that, Clark Walter. But Keenan off the pick and roll. And are we in store for a goal fest here tonight?
I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. 2 teams that are fighting for playoff lives. And this is good 2-man action by the lefties for the Saskatchewan Rush. Walter and Keenan, who is at a hot couple games in a row, puts his team back on top 2-1.
20th of the season for the captain, Ryan Keenan. whose father has now joined the Rush staff back on the bench. And it's kind of just changed the attitude for this team. A little more serious, still light. This team still goes hard. Here's Teat to Ron John. What a goal in transition. Check that, that's Jay Thornberry off the face-off. Just kept going with the play and Teat found him.
4 shots, 4 goals. I think we might be in for one of those kind of nights. But a face-off win turns into a nice sprint by Borgatti. He's in the back of the net for the Rush. Man, oh man, what a start.
That's Borgatti's first of the season. And it comes at a great time, tying this game up at 2.
Saskatchewan's only played 10 games this season. That's the least out of any team in the National Lacrosse League. They're 4th overall in transition goals per game, 2.4. New York's been losing their transition battle this season, but you got a face-off guy like Jay Thornberry, you can push the pace. Good things can happen.
Teat has it on a hidden ball trick, gives it off to Sundown. Kiernan. Good check there by McClellan. Loose ball going to be picked up by Inju. He's going to run on a breakaway. Teat trying to get back. Inju shot just goes wide. And loose ball picked up by Damon Edwards. Good try there by the Rush in transition, trying to create their own momentum here. Kyle Matisse missed a few games as his wife gave birth to their 3rd child. Now back firmly in this roster and a big part of their offense as well. Outside shot blocked by Holden Garland. Loose ball going to be picked up by Barnable. He's got Boudreau up ahead. Jake Boudreau on a breakaway. Dipping dunk and he scores! Got Dunkerley on his toes. And Boudreau's got his 4th of the season. There's that transition game that Saskatchewan has been enjoying out the back end.
And they preach about how it comes from defense first. So it comes from a stop, they pick up a loose ball off the carpet, and then it's off to the races for Boudreau. Dunkerley out aggressively to dive down, go down on his knees. And Boudreau puts it over top of the young goaltender. 5 shots, 5 goals. What goalie wants to make the first save tonight?
Billy Kidd III taking this draw against Jay Thornberry. Thornberry has the most face-off wins and most face-off attempts in the NLL, and his career numbers at the dot, 53.4%. Here's Zach Mans now. Skips it past, misses Dodds, and Church able to find that loose ball. Swings it to Mans, one-on-one with John LaFontaine. Shot scores! What is going on tonight? 6 shots, 6 goals, and the Rush lead 4-2.
They're gonna have to change the bulb on the goal lights pretty quick here in Saskatchewan. This is great ball movement. This is what this offense is all about. Swing it east to west, and then Mans gets on his horse. Such an athletic player is Zach Mans, and this time he just takes a jab step and a shot. Doesn't try to beat him one-on-one, just takes him to the top to increase his ankle, and a nice snipe by Mans, who has 2 to continue his hot season.
He led the WLA in scoring last summer with the Nanaimo Timmermen. He's really taken that confidence here with the Rush, living in market with a handful of other guys, and just really fit in with this organization. Loose ball picked up by Teat, and he'll flip it all the way back to center. And he grabbed there by Riley O'Connor. Teat in the corner, Sundown flashes through. O'Connor, Matisse setting a high seal. Teat, look, shoots. There's the first save of the game from Frank Giuliano. And then the Rush just trying to clear some space, throw it away, picked up there by Austin Madronic.
And a smattering of applause here by the Rush faithful for the first save of the game.
O'Connor to Matisse far side. Madronic in the set of pick. Matisse tucks back underneath, flips to Madronic. Nice one-hand grab, couldn't tail it. And now Sundown with 13 on the shot clock. Matisse wasn't looking for the pass. He grabbed there by Holden Garland. Up ahead, Ryan Barnable. And the New York Riptide are back in number, so Barnable will slow it up and give it off to Nathaniel Kazeznikov. Keenan, watched by Damon Edwards. To Dodds. Thought about it. Runs off the Church pick. 8 on the shot clock for Dodds. He steps back, shot saved there by Dunkerley. And the loose ball picked up by Zach Deacon up ahead. Edwards with speed. O'Connor putting up the stop sign. Clark. Kiernan. Late man is Teat. He has it now. Sundown. Kiernan, 10 on the shot clock. Teat chucked to the ground by a heavy check. Kiernan got to get a shot off to O'Connor. Saved there, Stiliano, loose ball. And it'll be picked up by Connor McCullough.
It'll be interesting to watch the matchups tonight. Saskatchewan doesn't really have like a defender of the year type shutdown guy like they've had in years past, like a Kyle Rubish. So it's going to be group effort against Teat tonight. He's seen Enju, he's seen Smith, but it's going to take all 5 defenders to quiet down this Riptide offense.
Keenan skips it to Dodds. Church on the crease. Carries high, plants his feet. Shot saved there by Dunkerley, his first of the night. Loose ball picked up by Callum Jones, 3rd overall pick in his past NLL draft. And if it wasn't for Alex Simmons just running away with things, he would be in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Now, what a rookie D-crop we've seen. Lady and Grant in Vancouver, Jones, and Deacon even coming on now here for New York. Special group.
Sundown, little twister, easily handled there by Stiliano. Up ahead, Holden Garland. 11 minutes gone, 4-2 is your score. Zach Mans already has a pair here tonight. Late man is Dodds. Kazebnikov. Around the check of Marinier. Mans with 10 on the shot clock. Stutter step. 1-2. Shot saved by Dunkerley. And bodies battling right in front of Dunkerley's crease. Edwards is in there with Deacon. Clark Walter takes a couple slashes. Can't find it. And Deacon will jog it to center. Into the corner, Taggart Clark. Late man is O'Connor, who has it now. Teat trying to backdoor cut Adam J. As soon as you turn your head on Jeff Teat, he will cut off your back shoulder. Kiernan had a man open, couldn't find it. O'Connor with a shot, shoulder save, Giuliano. 8:07 remaining. Zach Mans has a pair. The Rush lead it by 2 here on TSN. The city of Saskatoon is situated on the Treaty 6 territory in the homeland of the Métis people. The NLL and TSN acknowledges all nations, Indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land, and who honor and celebrate this territory. Back inside SaskTel Center, Rush Riptide in a shooter's duel here early on.
Talked about, Teddy, that they hadn't played each other since 2019. 4 members of the Rush remain from that game, 0 from the New York Riptides. This is completely unfamiliar territory, these two teams getting together, and there is that feeling out process, and the Rush have to figure out how to close gaps on Jeff Teat, how quick and how deceptive is he. Conversely, the New York Riptide defense getting a healthy dose, 4 Rush goals in the opening 7 minutes of this lacrosse game. How fast they're going to move the ball around. How quick is a Zach Mans? It's all about feeling each other out at this stage.
A rare non-center face-off as there was an inadvertent whistle before we went to the TV timeout. So Saskatchewan wins the draw, and they'll get possession with Zach Mans.
They want him to be a little bit more aggressive, has been to start the game. They also want the same thing from another Victoria native on this offense, Patrick Dawes.
A few good Victoria boys out here in the floor tonight. Here's Keenan inside to Church. Oh, he just couldn't handle the pass. Triolo with it now. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Triolo is just going to ice it in the corner. Callum Jones. Connor Kiernan. And here come the Riptide offense trying to cut this lead to 1. O'Connor. Near side Larson Sundown had 6 in their last game. He is just a spark plug for this team. But they can't get one on offense. Here come the rush.
Yeah, they smothered Teed on that play. No one to pass to. Sundown just kind of lobs it errantly into the corner. Church is picked up quickly by aggressive pressure.
Run away from Matt Marinier. Double teamed inside, loses possession. Battling for it. Pounded by a couple rush defenders. Couple chops to Marinier. Kazevnikov is in there as well, late in the shot clock. And Morgatti wisely just kind of leaving it loose. Marinier will fight it off to Zach Deacon. Taggart Clark to Matisse, late man, Connor Kiernan. Set to pick on McClellan, rolls to the middle. They give it to Clark, now Sundown, quick shot, scores! First point as a member of the Riptide for Taggart Clark, and Larson Sundown gets his first of the night. And it's a one-goal game on Sundown's 23rd of the season.
And you get a snippet there of what Taggart Clark clan bring to this, such quick feet and good floor vision here as he keeps his head up and finds Sundown. Doesn't score a lot of goals from that far out, does Larson Sundown. Usually it's right on top of the doorstep, but it's been sunny skies lately, and he's been finding the back of the net in a multitude of different ways to keep his streak alive. And he can have big nights. The New York Riptide can have big nights.
Career high 6 games last week versus Las Vegas, a 2021 D3 champ with RIT. Ryan Barnable of the Saskatchewan was a teammate. He scored the game winner in that game in overtime, so get this one out there. RIT goal here early. Game of the week. Here's Madronic. Teat. Driving underneath Adam Gray. Twister. Oh, he tried to put that short side cheese and just missed. Now up ahead, Boudreau. Can he get another? Shot saved there by Dunkerley. And Dunkerley gonna have to get out of his crease here quickly, and he won't. Good job there by Jake Boudreau just to apply some pressure and cause the 4-second violation. Dots to Keenan. The Rush look to restore the 2-goal lead. Late man is Church. Church runs past Thornberry. Picked up by Brownell, and then he tried to find a cutting dodge. Pass was behind him. And that's to be an over and back call on the Rush. 5:18 remaining. 4-3 is your score. Chantel Chan, Brad Chowner, Teddy Jenner, our entire TSN crew. Thanks for staying with us. Hope you enjoyed Bandits in Rock.
14. Hey, behind.
Buffalo knocks off the #1 seed Toronto Rock in a electric game. Now here comes Mike Messenger. Got McCullen with him. McCullen shot saved there by Dunkerley. And I've seen Cam Dunkerley play a lot of cross. He just doesn't look very comfortable in net right now.
No, maybe a lot of nerves coming into an old barn. A team that's been pushing the pace really well, though. He's faced a lot of rubber so far tonight, but he's going to have to find his poise.
Kiernan juking and driving through a backhander that missed short side. Now Saskatchewan going to try and run again with Barnable. Mallory up ahead with him. Walter comes on. Mans is late. And Barnable will sprint off the floor for Nathaniel Kazevnikov. Church trying to back his way, and he gets stripped by Deacon. Nice strip check there by the rookie. Up ahead, Edwards.
Deacon, guy that they didn't expect to get so many games out of. He got himself into the lineup, and they have not been able to take him out. 9 games played, and another thorn of the side. Nice youthful defender to pair with Callum Jones, and it's surrounded by some wily vets in this defensive core.
To Roger, takes a heavy cross check from Mike Messenger. And it'll be Riptide ball when we come back. But the Riptide got one from the stick of Larson Sundown on an assist from the new guy, Taggart Clark. There's a look at Jeff Teat. First overall pick back in 2020, Rookie of the Year, setting rookie records in assists and points. But look at those numbers, Brad. Since 2005, nobody has averaged more points per game than Jeff Teat, nearly 2 full points ahead of the next place guy, Garrett Billings.
Great company, by the way, for Jeff Teat, but yeah, heads and tails above the rest of that crop. And Teddy, we were here early watching warm-ups, and Jeff Teat on the floor by himself, like one of those guys who's just a prototypical first guy on, last guy off, taking shots. And when you talk to Dan Lattisaw or anybody about what makes Jeff Teat so special, he lives and breathes this game more than others. He just goes harder than most. You know, that dedication to the craft and to the stick and to the medicine game is unmatched.
Teat to Kern off a cross seal pick. Shot save, Chiliano. He was on his back foot. Kieran had O'Connor over on the backside, didn't throw it. And a nice save by Frankie in the other end.
A good look by New York, set play. As Kieran got Chiliano dancing, but it put it right in the gut. Frankie makes himself big. He's a big man, but he sprawls out, makes himself big, and doesn't give him any angle.
Dodds tried to pass it to the man behind the net. Knocked down nicely there by Ron John. Church, Keenan, far side, Zach Mann's one-on-one. Man skips it, Dodds couldn't handle the pass late in the 30. And he talked about, you know, we mentioned with Jimmy Quinlan, just about the confidence they need to get into a guy like Patrick Dodds.
Yeah, they need him to take the bull by the horns a little bit more and stop deferring. They actually think his Buffalo game a week ago where he scored 2 goals and had 10 shots, rightly so, probably his best game of the season. They need more of that from Patrick Dodds. But you see Ron John immediately aggressive on Dodds, trying to intimidate the young man, make him uncomfortable early.
Andrew up ahead to Barnable. Clark Walter sprinting through the middle to create some space, but New York back nicely. Now that Steve Keogh and Matt Beers have shaved their dusters, Clark Walter easily the best one in the National Lacrosse League. Damon Edwards, 3-on-2 here for New York. Edwards, double clutch shot, save Chiliano, and it's in the leg pad. And he'll clutch onto that one as he falls to the turf. Garland will go far side to Jake Boudreau, who's got one tonight. 2:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Got off to a hot start, 6 goals on 6 shots. The goaltenders have woken up here inside Saskatchewan. Mans off the Walter pick to Kazevnikov. Shot deflected off the stick of Borgatti, up and out of play. It'll stay here with a fresh 30. Kazevnikov to Church. Gets it right back from Dodds. Double seal, skip to Clark Walter. Back to Church. Spins, jump shot, save, Dunkerley.
He's settling in a little bit more now, out to challenge that shot. Not a lot of angles or corners to shoot at for Robert Church. Dunkerley soaks that one.
Matisse in the far corner, watched there by Barnum. Comes a pick from Taggart Clark. Sundown the late man, gives to Teat, goes and sets an off-floor pick. Teat up top, Matisse. And then pass is picked up by Boudreau. Here goes Saskatchewan again. 2-on-1. Boudreau all alone. Shot scores! Almost a carbon copy of his first one. Boudreau's got 2. He only had 3 total coming in, and it's 5-3 rush.
You know, some guys mix up their shots, but when you're a defender on the run, bread and butter, and Boudreau doesn't need to overthink, sticks with what he knows as he goes over top of the shoulder of Dunkerley again. They've come out flying in New York. Their top lefty. Teat's usually good at chasing back and taking away transition, but the rush have been real fast. The Riptide will have to get their high lefty off a little bit quicker here in this quarter.
Nice loose ball by Noseworthy. Gives it off to Teat. The defense will change. Here's Austin Madronic. Tried to find Kieran on the pick and roll just outside of his reach. Chiliano is just gonna kind of let this ball sit. He's gonna try to kill as much time as he can. Some referees will start the count, but Ryan Wilson just letting this one go as the shot clock expires. So 41.1 remaining in the quarter. The Saskatchewan won a 2-for-1. And Jimmy Quinlan, head coach, just saying hold for 1. Church, near side corner. Flowtie gives it off to Keenan. Back to Church. Split dodge, shot, shoulder save, rebound Keenan. Another shot saved by Dunkerley. And now the Riptide will be able to have last shot. And Dunkley unaware, now he's got to sprint off, and New York will call timeout, and Dan Ladouceur not too pleased with his young goaltender. So he has to waste the timeout here at the end of the first to set up a 6-on-5.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan. Dunkerley needs to have a little bit more awareness there of game time and situation. They're going to get 14 seconds to work with here on the shot clock, but they do have to burn a timeout. Dunkley had his back turned when everybody was coming off changing. And now they'll gather around Jason Crosby and try to go for the 6-on-5 play to get within 1.
They are the #1 power play in the National Lacrosse League. Let's see what they can do 6-on-5 as there's 14 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. 5-3 is your score. Mans with 2, Boudreau with 2, singles from a cast of characters. And we'll see what Jason Crosby can draw up for his offense. It'll be Matisse, Sundown, Madronic, Kiernan, O'Connor, and T. Adam J, Mike Messenger, Jake Boudreau, Bobby Kidd III, and Holden Garland, man, the back post, Frank Giuliano. So Teat will start with it at center, expect him to go with about 8 seconds remaining, and try to cut this lead back to a 1-goal game. Here comes Jeff Teat. Little pressure from Adam J. O'Connor with the pick. To Matisse. Double clutch shot, blocked. Loose ball. Bodies fighting for it in the crease. And the quarter will end. Madronic telling the referee that the Saskatchewan Rush player put his hand on the ball in the crease, but nothing coming. 5-3, 2-goal game. Rush, Riptide, game 2 of the NLL on TSN game of the week. When we come back, it'll be second quarter action. This has been an absolute fire start. Hope you'll join us for the rest of the game because we got a lot more coming from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Let's go down to Chantel Chan with more on Derek Keenan.
The winningest coach in Rush history, Derek Keenan, decided to come back behind the bench after the Rush decided to part ways with offensive coordinator Bruce Alexander. Now, Derek, he has been a coach for the Rush for over a decade. He decided to step down back in 2020. And when I talked to Mike Triolo about the decision, he said, you know what, you can't really put a price on it. He has so much knowledge. It also gives Jimmy Quinlan a chance to just focus on the offense. And he says that it's giving them a lot more confidence and just a move that the whole team can really appreciate, guys.
Thanks, Chantel. And obviously Jimmy has played a long time in this league. He's been around this Rush organization since it started. He's the only person in Rush history to have his number retired by the organization. But having a guy like Derek Keenan is just, it gives everybody a little more confidence, from staff to players, coaching, everybody.
And it lets Jimmy shine. He's a really crafty offensive coordinator. You see things like starting the game with the set play with Zach Mans behind the net, and then some of the things they've attempted since then. You know, it's really putting the best guys in their best positions. And spoke to Derek Keenan a few weeks ago and did say they will be shopping for an offensive coordinator in the offseason. This isn't what the long-term plan is. He wants Jimmy to be the head coach again, so it's a resume into Derek Keenan.
Far side with Robert Church, gets a pick from Dodds, comes around the top, gives it off to Ryan Keenan. His dad drafted #1 overall. A great check there by Callum Jones, and he gets knocked to the turf. Getting close to an 8-second violation here. But Jones re-gets his stick, finds the ball, and gets it over the timeline. Great effort there by the rookie.
Yeah, he is like a hyena. Unbridled enthusiasm, just attacking Keenan.
Dronick with a heavy shot, turned aside with the left shoulder, Giuliano. Earning his Bobby Kidd III. We'll give it off to Mike Triolo. Here comes the Rush offense. Ryan Keenan, late man, shot to the far side, saved by Dunkerley. And they'll call Clark Walter for in the crease.
A bit of a miscue as Ryan Keenan wasn't picked up. He came on the floor with such speed. New York wasn't able to pick up their assignments yet, so a quick shot, but Dunkerley up to the task.
Jeff Teat now far side. Watched by Holden Garland. Comes near side to Austin Madronic. Matisse flashes to the middle. Kiernan to Teat. Stutter step, flips back. Inside feed, O'Connor just missed. A good defense again by Saskatchewan, not letting Jeff Teat get free. Garland to Mans. And now Garland will go for late change. Mans to Church. Jared Smith gonna run and play a shift to O here for Saskatchewan. Pass knocked down nicely there by Brett Noseworthy. Ron John finds it in the corner, up to Noseworthy. Former member of the Buffalo Bandits, came over in a trade a couple years ago. Now here's Taggart Clark to Sundown. Check there by Boudreau. Now he's gonna run. Does he have a hat trick in him? Jake Boudreau. And nice job by Zach Deacon to get back. Now Keenan Bouncer scores! Excellent play by Jake Boudreau. Tracking that loose ball down. Finding Keenan off the bench. He goes Bouncer far side. And it's a 3-goal game.
400th career point for Ryan Keenan. And again, it's a short change for Saskatchewan in this half. It's the second time that Ryan Keenan's come out, shot out of a cannon, and a good look by Boudreau as Teat has his back turned, doesn't pick up Ryan Keenan. So Boudreau with tidy 3-point night to start the game. Ryan Keenan with his 400th point. The Rush leads 6-3.
12:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Thornberg wins another one right to Zach Deacon. He's watched there by Messenger. Got to be careful of the timeline. Little hopscotch there by Deacon. Gives it off to LaFontaine, who defers to Jeff Teat. O'Connor far side, plants his feet, takes a shot. Chiliano got a piece. Good look there from Riley O'Connor. Matisse now to O'Connor again. That one blocked in front by Enju. Loose ball picked up by Jared Smith. One of two players from Manitoba in the national roster. The other, Brad?
Luke Mangan.
There you go.
Halifax Thunderbirds.
Messenger dispossessed by Noseworthy. Loose ball in the far corner. Shot clock winding down. John in there as his Messenger battling, and come away with his nose really off the Brownell. And the Riptide with slow numbers. Will hold up at center. Adam J with a little pressure on Brownell. Now Taggart Clark. That's by Ryan Barnable. Clark all the way around the top. Teat, 10 on the shot clock. Flips it, Sundown, low to low. Frank was down early. Nice save there by Chiliano. Loose ball, Adam J. Saskatchewan trying to run. Nice job by New York just to get back in their defensive zone. Not allow the Rush a chance 3-on-2.
Yeah, much better bench management.
Clark Walter inside, save Dunkley, his best of the night. Now big Matt Marinier lumbers up the floor. They got Zach Vance stuck back on the defensive end. To O'Connor. Teat chucked to the ground there by Garland. They are not giving Teat an easy ride here tonight. Backdoor look, Kiernan gets inside, missed the far top corner. Ball hit the official, and it bounced right into Chiliano's crease. So a fortunate bounce there for Saskatchewan. Smith running. Near side, Keenan. Backdoor look, Dodd scores! What a look to the backside as Patrick Dodds goes airborne. His 8th of the year. And the Rush are up 4, 7-3.
This is what you got to do off ball. Get yourself open. Patrick Dodds keeps his feet moving, gets around the whole defense. I think it was Koneznikov setting a bit of a pick for Dodds at the top of the offensive zone, but just does a big lap and a great feed all the way across. Dunkerley has to slide over. Defense is chasing. That is a quick moving Saskatchewan Rush offense. Dodds makes it 7-3.
With more on Patrick Dodds, go down to Chantel.
We had a chance to speak with Patrick Dodds earlier this week, and we talked about his slower start to the season. He said he was getting adjusted to the new system and the new team, but he was just not listening to the outside noise at all. He's focused on his game and his teammates, and he really feels like he's hitting his stride, guys.
Thanks, Chantel. Dodds putting that past his former Victoria Junior Shamrock teammate, Dunkerley. Triolo. Oh, off the crossbar, off the back of Dunkerley and just over the crossbar.
Jimmy Quinlan kind of pointing out to us this week, Teddy, that Dodds is 22. This is his 3rd season in the league, but he's just working through the motions like any rookie would. And yeah, he had a great rookie season, was a candidate for Rookie of the Year. It wasn't for this guy named Jeff Teat on the floor. But he's a young guy still growing in this league, and he's going to be a big part of this offense and this team for years to come.
Loose ball in the corner, they'll reset to 30. Kieran had it, now Taggart Clark does shot, try to go short side. Almost beat Chiliano, but it stays out, it remains a 4-goal game.
He has not looked out of place in this offense. He's coming in with a lot of energy. They're giving him opportunities, giving him shifts, and he's had some flashy chances so far.
Inside look to Dodds, looking for a 2nd straight. And a nice save there by Dunkerley in tight. Patrick Dodds had 84 points in his rookie season. He's got his 29th point of the year off his first goal of the night. Ryan Keenan has a pair of goals and 3 points on the night, taking him to 400 points in his NLL career, Brad.
First season as the captain of the Saskatchewan Rush, and just a quiet, honest effort leader on the floor for this Rush team. Doesn't have to say a lot in the room, but just goes about his business, and he's taking his game to another level this season. A couple good games in a row, finding the back of the net, but will do anything he is told to do in an offense. He can quarterback the power play. He can play on the crease. He can play on the point. Any situation. He can be the picker. He can be the shooter. Whatever Jimmy Quinlan wants Ryan Keenan to do, yes, coach.
A 2-time Minto Cup champion with the Whitby Warriors. And hoping to become a champion with the Saskatchewan Rush one day. Here's Austin Madronic driving, diving off the far post, and almost got behind Chiliano. That's a couple that have gone behind Frank, but just unable to cross the line. Riptide, a little snake bitten here. Hands to Keenan. Clark Walter, out Triolo. Spins off Berenier. Jump shot, bounces wide up into the netting. It'll be New York possession.
Another thing that Dan Lattisour pointed out when we were talking about the chess match of this game and that feeling out process, he said maybe the goaltending position, one of the tougher ones too. You can watch stuff on film and get your tendencies, but until you shoot on Frank Chiliano, see where he situates himself in the net, you don't know.
Sundown goes airborne, ran into a wall. Chiliano made the save. Running is Adam J. Good off to Kazevnikov. Dodds will set a screen. Kazevnikov tucks it, gets inside, put it wide. Loose ball picked up by New York. Goldberg will corral it in his own zone, get across center. Clear the 8 count, give it off to Jeff Teat. Taggart Clark gets a pick from Kiernan, who takes a shot, twister. That shot was deflected, and Kiernan heading off the floor. Teat, step back shot, save, Chiliano, loose ball. Oh, O'Connor shot, I think that was saved by holding Garland as Chiliano was down. Might have been Jared Smith, I'm not sure who got in the way of that shot, but that was a wide open net for O'Connor.
Everybody's sold out for it. I think it was Garland that got in the way. So it gives Chiliano 15 saves and Garland 1.
O'Connor, Sundown. Near side Madronic. Backhand flip Matisse on the inside, shot scores! Great pass from Austin Madronic, and Kyle Matisse gets his first of the night, 17th of the season.
And filthy finish from the big man. Good hands to get Chiliano to open up. Cal Matisse in a two-man game with Madronich. Beautiful behind the back pass. And then good hands in tight.
Let's go back and take a look at that save. There's the save by Chiliano. And it is Holden Garland coming across, going post to post to make the big body save.
I'm tongue-in-cheek saying that he's going to get credited with the save there. It's obviously Chiliano, but when you got defenders like that selling out for your team, those little plays that go a long way for morale for a group, that everyone's going all out.
Church, near side demands. Trying to get underneath, he can't. Good defense there by New York. Messenger couldn't handle the pass. Thornberry running. Jay Thornberry all alone, shot saved by the right arm of Chiliano. Good look there by Jay Thornberry, the veteran. 24th overall pick back in 2006 by Buffalo. Church now. Pick and roll with Triolo. Backhand, Triolo scores! Pick and rolls are on special here inside SaskTel. First it was Madronich to Matisse. Now it's Church to Triolo, and the Rush respond.
And the Rush big man cashes in. Almost the exact same. Behind the back pass. This time it goes from low to the cutter through the middle, though, rather than Madronich feeding Matisse low. This time the ball starts low, and then it goes through the middle, and Triolo, who's the tallest man in the National Lacrosse League,
with more on the tallest man. Chantel, what you got?
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with Mike Triolo earlier this week, and he said this is the biggest game because we're fighting down the stretch to make the playoffs. So if you saw a little bit of extra emotion there from Mike, it's because he knows how important this game is, guys.
Thank you, Chantel. 50th point of his career. That one sneaks by Chiliano. Another one where he got a big chunk of, but this time, it does end up in the back of the net. Jeff Teat gets on the board.
Put in a quarter, play some pinball for Jeff Teat as he gets himself open. That jab step, so quick. And Chiliano got a piece of it, it trickles behind, but give Jeff Teat a little bit of space to get that shot off.
Second of the night for Teat. And Messenger's done a real nice job. They've sent a couple bodies at Jay Thornberry. That time it was Connor McClellan. They've done a nice job against Jay Thornberry, winning draws here, just giving their team possessions, especially ones after goals.
Jeff Teat.
Man's underneath, dive, shot, scores! He's got a hat trick. I'm sure Dan Ladouceur is going to want to look at the replay, but as it stands, Zach Mans has 3.
And doing what he's done all season long, confidently taking the ball to the cage. He can get topside, he can go underneath, but uses his speed and athleticism against the veteran Thornberry to come inside.
Goal.
Good hang time as he stuffs that in well before he lands. That'll stand, and team swapping goals here after the Rush had a 3-goal run. They've swapped goals for the last 4.
Thornberry with a quick clamp, brings it all the way back to Borgatti. Now running is LaFontaine.
Teat joins Austin Stotts in the 40-goal club this season. The only 2 to get there so far in 2024.
There is Teat to pick from Sundown, met by a cross check from Adam J. Sundown to Matisse, late in the shot clock. To Sundown, shot, scores! Right at the buzzer! Larson Sundown gets one to get past Chiliano. And he's got a pair.
What a shot by Sundown. Desperation late in the shot clock. Teat finds him and then just watch his body as he just powers it back short side. A little deception here on the hips, spinning. Bit of an unorthodox release by Sundown, and it works. His team's within 3.
Triolo gonna take this drop against Thornberry, and he wins it to Connor McClellan. Nice job by McClellan to find that loose ball. Mallory to Triolo. Backing in and LaFontaine. Away with a bit of a free hand. Got the shot off, no reset. Keenan to Triolo on the inside cut. Finds that loose ball. Keenan. Inside Clark. Walter, a little backhand scoop save. Dunkerley, fresh 30. Tough feed into a phone booth for Clark Walter, who is able to hold on to it, get the shot off in a reset. Now here's Mans working on a hat trick. To Church, far side. Dogs working hard to get him open in Church. That's what they call a bar down Bobby. Far corner, pipe it in. His first of the night.
We're getting a treat here tonight. We get to watch Jeff Teat shoot the ball, and Robert Church is one of the most pure strokes in the sport. He uses a pick to get open and then stings it far side high.
I hope you bet the over, folks. 16 goals in the first half. We still got 3:23 remaining. Messenger will go against Thornberry.
Last night we saw San Diego and Calgary combined for 13 in the whole game. We've got 16 so far here tonight. We're not even at halftime.
Here's Teat, one-on-one against Jared Smith. Finds Matisse off the bench, skips it to Kiernan. Teat around the outside, body there by Messenger. Teat, survey, thought about the dump, carries up, gives to Tanner Clark, shot sails wide. Loose ball picked up by Messenger. Rush running, Mans. Boudreau, shot off the butt end of Dunkerley's stick. There's Boudreau looking for the hat trick. Now Teat gonna run. There goes Sundown right through the middle. Kieran doesn't pull the trigger. Give it off to Oscar, drawn through circle side. Now Jeff Teat. Sundown flash in the middle. Kieran couldn't handle the pass in tight, picked up by Garland. Saskatchewan has numbers. 3-on-1 for the rush. Keenan, shot, trying to go short side corner. Dunkerley got a piece. Loose ball picked up by Brett Noseworthy. 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Renier, pass was behind Matisse, but it bounces right to Taggart Clark. Teat to Madronic. Late man is O'Connor, and he gives it off to Jeff Teat, watched by Jared Smith. Teat off the O'Connor pick, shot blocked. Picked off out of midair, nicely there by Adam J. Mike Mallory up ahead now. Mallory trying to find someone to leave it for. He'll just drop it off the bench, change, and get off to Ryan Keenan. Shot there from Kazevnikov, handled by Dunkerley. Floated up ahead to John LaFontaine, two-time NLL championship winner with the Rush. Once when they were Edmonton, once when they were Saskatchewan. Teat to Madronic. Near corner, Connor Kiernan. Teat open, he couldn't handle the pass. Check that was Sundown. 10 on the shot clock. Madronic, Sundown, step back shot, shoulder save Chiliano. Teat, nice scoop with that loose ball. Under a minute to go here.
A good reset. You want to see some motion to attack this defense. Good pressure by the New York Riptide.
Teat with it to Kiernan, shot wide, loose ball, scores! Great follow-up by Riley O'Connor. And Chiliano couldn't get back to his feet, and this time Holden Garland wasn't anywhere near to make the save, and Riley O'Connor puts it in for his 12th of the season, first of the night, and it's back to a 3-goal game, 10-7 with 33 seconds left.
Great job to follow the shot by O'Connor. He's immediately looking at the refs though, like, did I go in the crease? I don't know if we'll see a flag here by Quinlan and company. I don't think they're going to challenge it. They got a good look in-house. And this will stand. Again, last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals the teams have been swapping after a 3-goal run by the Rush that had it 7-3.
Well, if you were watching the Rush play the Buffalo Bandits last weekend, they continually traded the lead all night long. No team led by more than a goal. No team scored more than 2 in a row. And they went back and forth all the way through overtime. So the Rush know about these back and forth kind of games. Dunkley gonna come to the bench. 6 on 5 here for the Riptide. O'Connor to Sundown. Good pressure here by Saskatchewan. 10. O'Connor to Matisse. Back to O'Connor to Matisse. One more O'Connor shot. Saves Giuliano. Ball loose. Empty net. They won't have time, and the half is gonna end. What a half between these two clubs. It started off like a shot of lightning. 6 goals on 6 shots, then the goaltender settled in. And Frank and Cam dueling for saves, but the offense is the story here in the opening 30.
We kind of thought it would be wide open and unpredictable to start this game just based on the unfamiliarity of these teams, but to see what these two teams have on the line. New York in a playoff spot right now, Saskatchewan with a real tough schedule ahead, putting everything on the line in this first half, and man, swapping goals, 10-7 through 30.
Down on the floor, Chantel Chan is with the man with the hat trick, Zach Mans.
Zach, 4 points for you already in the first half. What is the New York Riptide defense giving you that's helping you become so gifted offensively so far in the first half?
They're pressing out quite a bit, and we're just using our speed and moving the ball, using our feet.
It seems like it's been a track meet for the first half. What's your thoughts on the pace so far?
It's been fast-paced, and I think that's what the fans here want to see, and that's the type of lacrosse we want to play. So we'll run all night long.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Teddy, Brad.
Speed is the story for the Saskatchewan Rush. Zach Mans got a hat trick. Jake Boudreau's got a pair. This has been an exciting opening half. We'll break it all down and give you scores from around the National Lacrosse League. Game 2 of the NLL on TSN doubleheader. Rush and Riptide from Saskatoon. Back to Saskatoon at halftime here between the Rush and the Riptide, where Saskatchewan leading it 10-7. Earlier tonight, you might have seen it on TSN, Rock, Bandits, one of the greatest rivalries in the NLL, and one of the greatest goalies in the NLL, still doing insane things. Look at this save by Matt Vince, completely in no man's land, sticks to stick out to deny Dan Craig, then up 2. Mark Matthews to Corey Small for his 4th of the night. Buffalo was up 3 at halftime. But you know what Buffalo does? They always stay in the hunt. And with a guy like Josh Byrne who can do sick things like this, they're never out of it. Buffalo knocks off Toronto 14-12 in a huge win for the Bandits. And that keeps Toronto in close to teams like Albany and San Diego. Halifax knocking off Panther City last night 13-9. Vancouver with a 2nd straight win for the first time in 3 years, knocking off Vegas 13-12. Rochester takes both games from Albany this year, beating them 11-10. And Brad mentioned that 7-6 game between Calgary and San Diego. When we come back, hey, Mom, happy birthday. I love you. Hope you're enjoying everything down there in Southern California. See you in a couple weeks. Happy 77th birthday to my dear mother. When we come back, more halftime analysis from Saskatoon. The next lacrosse game of the week takes place on April 5th. It'll be the Saskatchewan Rush taking on the Calgary Roughnecks. It all starts 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, April 5th, only on TSN. Back inside the booth at halftime where the Rush continue to lead, but this was a track meet from the opening whistle.
It's the way the Rush wanted to play. New York played right into the hands of the Saskatchewan Rush. You wanted to flex their athleticism in this game. It all started with the opening play of the game. Jimmy Quinlan draws a set play for Zach Mans to go airborne behind the net, and he's become one of the quickest athletic offensive players in the National Lacrosse League this season. A great jab step to get a shot from the outside, and then if you give him an inch, he's going to take him out. Beats his man underneath to go across the crease. So 3 goals right on top of the doorstep by Zach Mans, who was quick-footed. They did not have an answer for him in the first half. And you want athleticism? We talked about pushing the pace, and they did it in transition. Jake Boudreau gets his first of 2, and then no, this is not a carbon copy. This is his second of the night in similar fashion. It's a defensive stop that turns into a quick transition attempt, and Boudreau had his second of the night, 2 of Saskatchewan's 10. But when you're playing against the New York Riptide, you give Jeff Teat an inch, and he's also a guy that'll take a mile. He hasn't played against the Rush in his career so far. They're getting a feel for him. Bobby Kidd gives him a little too much space on that one, and then if you turn your back and turn your head, it ends up in the back of the net. Teat has 2 of New York's 7. It's a 3-goal game through 30.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats. No power plays all game. I didn't even realize that.
Don't jinx it. I was hoping we'd go maybe all night and just have these teams punch bagging each other back and forth. So let's not will that into existence. But it's been entertaining. It's been fun lacrosse.
One of the big stories with this New York Riptide team, though, is their future. If you were kind of not paying attention, a few weeks ago they announced that they will be moving to Ottawa. They will become the Ottawa Black Bears. The Sports, along with the Ottawa Senators Entertainment Group, have combined to create a dynamic partnership which hopes bringing the NLL back to Ottawa.
Yeah, look, the Ottawa region, the capital region, has grassroots. That's one of the things that the National Lacrosse League kind of requires. If they want to bring a team to market, you have to prove there's some grassroots momentum there. Ottawa has that. Jeff Teat now gets to play in the nation's capital. Jeff Teat belongs in Canada, so it's so nice to see that he's going to get a little bit more attention playing on his home side of the border, and then a great partnership with the Senators. That's another thing that the National Lacrosse League likes to do. You know, they've got connections with the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames and the Colorado Mammoth, and to have another NHL team on board and attached to an NLL franchise is massive for this league and for this team.
It will be an historic moment when the NLL does return to Ottawa, but for right now, the Riptide are trying to bring a championship to Long Island. Can they do it? Well, they're going to have to find some second half scoring here in this one to find a win. When we come back, second half action, the NLL on TSN Game 2 of the doubleheader coming up. Halftime next. Getting ready for second half action. Saskatchewan leading New York 10-7. Down on the floor, Chantel Chan with Larson Sundown.
Larson, your squad's down by 3. What do you guys got to do to get back into this game and win it the second half?
We just got to bring our best foot forward. This group knows what it takes, and we obviously going to make some adjustments, but at the end of the day, it's just all about us.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Teddy, Brad.
Thank you, Chantel. And the New York second half scoring droughts have been an issue. The last few games, they were a little bit better against Vegas, but the 3 games before that, their 3 losses, putrid in the second half.
Yeah, we asked Dan Ladouceur about it this week, and he doesn't think it's a motivation thing, and, you know, is it something he needs to do to fire the guys up at half? He doesn't think it's that either. It's all about positivity and showing them film at half. They get all the coaches get together and they'll run clips of what happened in the first half, what was successful, what was not, but then ended on a positive note, so this team's feeling good about having a 3-goal hole and heading in to the second half of the game. So we'll see if that positivity can pay off here for the New York Riptide.
Gormare wins the opening draw. Here comes Kyle Matisse in the Riptide offense. O'Connor into the corner, Jeff Teat. Riptide tried to find Madronic, pass knocked down by an active stick of Isaac Inju. Driving off the post. Rebound, oh, what a save by Chiliano! Down and out and denies a Riptide goal.
And Teat with a very responsible change. Clearly that a message at the half to take this run game away from Saskatchewan as he left way early, left the 4-on-5. still got a decent shot opportunity. It almost turned into a goal.
Dodds to Church. Up top, Keenan shot. Oh, Dunkley didn't see it. Luckily, it went wide. Loose ball, Matt Marinier. Saskatchewan trying to run in numbers here. 3-on-2. Marinier, Taggart Clark runs off the pitch. Shot blocked by Boudreau into the netting and out of play. But good take there by Taggart Clark. Even better defense by Jake Boudreau.
The Rush want to keep their tempo up, as you heard from Zach Mans there. They want to run all night long.
Here's Kiernan to Teat. Inside O'Connor. Shot saved by the left arm of Chiliano. Great look from Teat inside, but Riley O'Connor can't find it. Adam J. to Clark Walter. Walter to Church in amongst the traffic. Finds Triolo, one hand inside, and he lost it as he dove across the crease. Jones battling in there for that loose ball with Brownell, trying to knock Clark Walter off. Bodies battling, shot clock not running. Ryan Wilson, the official in there, just trying to make sure no one's clamping. And they reset the shot clock when they shouldn't have, so good job there by Ryan Wilson just to keep the count going. And it will be New York possession. Sundown. Messenger all the way out to the sideboard, shutting off Jeff Teat. Matisse trying to go underneath on Inju. And that pass was knocked down, but nicely handled there. Inside, Sundown, bouncer, saves Chiliano as he got down to make that save. That should have been back in on Saskatchewan, but they end up throwing it out of play anyway. So the Rush will get possession.
That was a good look. Sundown from a dangerous area, spins off a check. Tries to throw a low subber far side of Chiliano. He makes his 19th save of the night.
Teat one-on-one with Jared Smith. Off to Matisse. O'Connor in the middle, shot, save Chiliano. O'Connor's finding himself in the middle so often here. Long ball pass, Boudreau couldn't handle it. Picked up by Barnable, to Boudreau one more. Another chance, Church, save Dunkerley. And loose ball picked up by Ryan Barnable. What a transition chance for the Rush. But Dunkerley stayed with it the whole way.
Great look, that'll be confidence building save for Dunkerley. He can make a stop like that on Robert Church, point blank.
Keenan far side to Mans. Frank shot, had Dunkerley leaning the wrong way but missed. Triolo over the shoulder, Willie Mays catch. Trying to drive underneath, the defense by Jones. And then hounded by the defense. Great job by Marinier and Deacon on Triolo. That's not an easy task, marking up the big man.
Oh, Marinier's been a real bright spot for this defense. Ladouceur calling out Marinier and Noseworthy, two of the most underrated defenders in the league. They cause turnovers, they block shots, and heavy physical defenders.
Madronic to Teat. Gets a pick there from Sundown, plants his feet. Another pick from Sundown, takes the shot. Oh, it almost squeaked past Chiliano. And he got down to keep it out.
He has this knack of, it's almost a basketball skill, kind of putting on the brakes, and his defender keeps moving as he stops, and that's when he releases his shot. Good opportunity there.
Backside look for Dodds, went off the left toe of Dunkerley. Church on a fresh 30. By this time in the first quarter, it was 3-2. Haven't gotten a goal here yet in the second half. Clark Walter to Dodds. Skips it to Keenan. Dodds flashes back far side. Great pick there by Clark Walter. All around the world. Oh, and he just missed. What an attempt on the doorstep by Clark Walter. Now Brownell the other way. We'll leave it for Matisse and head off the floor. Taggart Clark far side, watched out by Ryan Barnable. To Kiernan laid off the bench, popped in and out of his stick. And now Messenger's gonna find it. Saskatchewan with numbers. Up ahead, Isaac Inju. Stops, spins. And good defense there. Now Triolo scores! The patience from Inju to find Triolo. He's got a pair. And there's the first goal of the second half.
It all starts in the defensive end like most transition plays do, but Messenger bodies his way to a loose ball as Madronix hit the turret monster. No one able to chase. And then Enju with the great patience to spin away from trouble and hit a streaking Triolo off the bench. Another transition goal for the Rush as their pace continues.
And the big thing about that is, you mentioned it, the patience and composure of Isaac Enju, not to force a shot, not to try to be the hero, and just be patient. No guys are coming off the bench. And Triolo's got a pair here tonight.
Fourth transition goal of the night for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Triolo again. Feed the hot stick. Oh, and that shot was deflected by Edwards. Didn't make it on target. 10 on the shot clock. Church to Mans. Twister blocked that time by Marinier. And loose ball will be picked up there by LaFontaine. Are they going to say it's a live ball? Oh, they're going to call back over and a shot clock violation on the Rush at the same time. When we come back, it will be Riptide ball. But Mike Triolo, he's got a pair as he goes far side under the glove on Dunkerley. Let's hop in the flashback machine. Way back to 2019, the last time these two teams met. The only players remaining from that game, Church, Messenger, Garland, and Keenan, thank you.
All played for the Rush, zero Riptide members.
But, you know, credit to Rich Lisk, Dan Ladouceur, and this sort of new look Riptide staff. That's just 4 years ago. You really can't go around the league and find a team that doesn't have one player at least from 4 years ago. This is a new look Riptide team, and they are really making a push for the playoffs here. Here's Teed on the wrong side. Bit of a set play out of the TV timeout.
Yeah, it all started with that man right there, Jeff Teed. Build around the first overall pick. Generational talent. Surrounding now with Sundown and Kiernan and this young defensive core that is up and coming. And this team, when they relocate to Ottawa next year, really chance to build something special for the long term.
Keenan tried to find Church for the dunk, couldn't connect. Running is Callum Jones. Finds O'Connor. Jones will set a pick and head off the floor. On will come Connor Kiernan. Clark. Now Teet with 14 on the shot clock. Teet gets to the middle. All the way around. Great trail check by Adam Jay. Up ahead, running. Jake Boudreau. Shocker to see him the first man up the back end. Church, split dodge on Damon Edwards, but Damon Edwards with a safety check gets right back in it. And they'll call Church for running through the crease.
Good sticks on either end. Adam Jay with a big play off Jeff Teed, who's twice on the last couple of shifts taking that ball all the way into deep righty territory. They're trying to get a look. Stripped again.
Now it's Messenger running. Mike Messenger all alone on the breakaway. Shot scores! Far side, pipe it in for the hammer. Another transition goal for the Rush. That's 5 on the night. As Messenger gets his 8th of the season.
And this is just something you don't see. Jeff Teet will get pickpocketed at the start of this play. Aggressive defense on the back. Messenger picks it up. Cause turnover, ground ball, back in the net. Classic Mike Messenger right there. 12 sevens. No one gives chase. Second transition goal in a row to open up this half for the Saskatchewan Rush. I'm giving them 5 on the night so far.
Messenger, one of those OGs from 4 years ago, still with this club. And he will be a big part of this club for years to come. Continues to be one of the rocks on the back end. But you talked about the Riptide bringing a young defensive core. The young defensive core for Saskatchewan is very impressive when you think about who this team used to have on the back end, the likes of Beers and Dilks, Rubish, Corbeil, and now it's Boudreau and Barnable, McClelland. It's just Inju and BK3, like this is a completely different looking Rush team as well.
Yeah, and I think you used the word unit there, and that's what it is. Like, there's not one of those guys that is a world beater or maybe a defensive player.
Clark gets his first. Great pass from Kiernan to Taggart Clark, all alone on top of the crease. And he gets Frank Chiliano dancing and puts it over his shoulder. 8th of the season, first as a member of the Riptide.
Proving his worth through proving his trade value here. Sets a hard pick on Jay. Maybe could have been a violation, but no, not called. And he's all alone on the doorstep. Good hands in tight to come back short side. Welcome to the Riptide. Taggart Clark, who's fitting in nicely. But to finish my thought, you mentioned the word unit, and that's what this core is for the Saskatchewan Rush, Teddy. I think it's a whole 9-10 man effort. There's not one guy that's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. It's just the whole group effort of Jared Smith and Enju and all these underrated players that all play a very similar game, and they all fit really well into the Saskatchewan Rush system, led by Jeremy Talevi, their defensive coordinator.
Don't forget Holden Garland out there as well, but it all started with Boudreaux and Barnable, went 7 and 8 back in the 2021 draft. There's a shot by Church, leg saved by Cam Dunkerley. Got a man up ahead. Brown out. Thought about it. Ryan Barnable was back quickly to deter that chance. Now here comes Austin Madronic, heavily watched there by Adam Jay. Now Jeff T. Kiernan shot, trying to go short side, missed. Loose ball, Adam Jay. Barnable, he's got Triolo with him. And nice job by the Riptide. Offense to get off the floor. Kazepnikov banging and crashing in the middle. He gets knocked to the turf. Ryan Keenan with it to Triolo. Strip check nicely there by Zach Deacon. Man, Zach Deacon isn't a big body at all, but he is so good with his stick.
He's listed at 5'9". Triolo is 6'8". And he's able to strip the big man who's trying to post up on him, thinking he's got a size advantage. But Deacon, so crafty with the weapon.
Deacon, one of Founders and a Minto with the Orangeville Northman. There's Jeff T. Backside look. Oh, what a nice save by Chiliano. He denied Kiernan.
Deacon out of the Hill Academy, or his trade from Brody Merrill, and some of the best to ever do it.
Here's Mans, watched by Ron John. Originally drafted by Colorado, came over to trade a couple years ago. His Church goes posted in. Church's second. Mans gets his 5th point of the night. And the Rush are starting to pull away. Five points for Church as well.
And his body's just stacked in through the middle. Garland's up there creating some chaos. And Robert Church just kind of sneaks himself into an open position. And New York a little bit discombobulated on the back end as Church pops out. Good feed from Mans. The Rush are rolling tonight, Teddy. 13-8.
Church on pace for his 3rd 100-point season in his career. Drafted way back in 2013, 5th overall by the Rush. Was an all-rookie in 2014 and all-pro in 2018.
Just one of the cleanest, purest goal scorers out there.
Shot by Matisse, handled there by Chiliano. Thought about throwing the long pass. Now he's got to get it up to Church at center, and he does. Church gets across just before the 8-second violation. Keenan wide open. Shot, try to stuff it short side. Good, nice save by Dunkerley. Now Marinier gonna try to leg it out. He's got Boudreaux all over him though. Marinier will go far side, Taggart Clark, one-on-one with Barnable. Time and room, Taggart Clark with the fur to Jeff T. And then gets it right back, 10 on the shot clock. Madronic circles high off the Clark pick, shot, save, rebound. Oh, another save by Chiliano! Stuck out the left arm and denied. O'Connor again in tight on the crease. O'Connor's got one, but it's safe to say he can't buy one right now.
Spectacular from Chiliano. When you see a big man like that go all out, throw the body out, throw the arms out, so fun to watch.
Loose ball, Deacon knocked to the turf. Noseworthy, Edwards, and then Edwards just ices it. LaFontaine's there. Edwards will slow things up with 3:05 remaining here in the third quarter. Shots 36-31 in favor of the Riptide, but they trail by 5. Sundown. Split dodge, gets to the top of the floor. Shot, Chiliano, kick to the side. Loose ball, Boudreau. Man, he's been good tonight. Still running, Boudreau. Smith, one more shot, scores! McClellan! 6 transition goals on the night, and that one might have been the prettiest of the bunch. McClellan's first of the year. As Smith and Boudreau get involved in the action. Boudreau's got a 4-point night going.
Sundown takes it. A decent shot. You can't say it was a terrible shot, but he puts it in the stick of Chiliano, and then it's legged up the floor by the Saskatchewan Rush. 3 different players get a touch, and an easy finish for McClellan, as this team has been running in waves tonight.
Loose ball off the draw, picked up by Mike Mallory, who quietly one of the vets on this team. He's been around for a while. The Rush turned over right in front of the benches. Triolo in there. Damon Edwards battling. Garland's in there. Now in comes Brett Noseworthy. Nice job by Noseworthy to sniff that one up. Now he'll slow it up and get off to Brownell. It takes a heavy hit by Adam Jay. Adam Jay's got a bit of bite to his game tonight.
It's a new part of his game. You didn't see a ton of that with Toronto, but as coming over here as a trade chip for Mark Matthews, is a big leader on this team.
There is our first penalty of the night, and it's going to go to Riley O'Connor. As he ran through Mike Messenger with a high stick from behind.
That's probably the last player you want to do that to on the Saskatchewan Rush roster.
When we come back, we will break it down, but Frank Chiliano has been absolutely stellar between the pipes. Look at this save. Kicks it out with the left arm. Then the other end, Connor McClellan with his first of the year. Rush lead it by 6 on TSN. There's crew chief Chris Williams in the penalty box reviewing this call. It is a 5-minute major on Riley O'Connor, who's sitting in the box right now. He's trying to check the review out as well. And Riley O'Connor right in the middle of your screen. There's Mike Messenger. Off the left shoulder, maybe up around the head area. But they will review this one to see if it will be a 5 or if it'll drop down to a 2. So crew chief Chris Williams again will just take his time, go through the process, review it. It looks like he's maybe got his decision, but this is, I did jinx it, you were right. They said no penalties. We finally got one.
We made it this far. We almost made it through 3 quarters. Now the potential of a 5-minute major to go up on the board, but this is a new rule in the National Lacrosse League this season where 5-minute majors are instantly reviewable. Not fighting majors, but any illegal body check, high stick, cross check, they'll take a look. This one, to me, Messenger's bent over. Yeah, he's vulnerable, but I don't think he really gets him in the head or the neck. He kind of slips off the back. You know, they want to take dangerous head hits out of the game, obviously. I don't know if this is one of those, but we'll let the referees make that decision.
Yeah, it doesn't look super violent to me, or super aggressive, maybe deserving of a 5, but they have been very good with this all year long, just reviewing the 5s and deciding if it should be a 5 or 2. Let's hear what Chris Williams has to say. We'll have one more word with Ryan Wilson, Nick Dos Santos, and Tanner Fetch just to make sure everything's good. Still deciding.
They can downgrade to a 2 or they can wipe it out altogether.
So score is 14-8 as it stands right now. Here's Chris Williams, I believe. Maybe. I think he's, here he is, Chris Williams.
The 5-minute major has been reduced to a 2-minute illegal cross-check.
So it'll just be a 2-minute illegal cross-check on Riley O'Connor. And I think that is the right call, Brad. So it'll be 2-minute power play for the Saskatchewan Rush, who are 43%. They're only giving up one shorthanded goal all year long. But the Riptide PK hasn't been that great. There's an outside shot from Keenan off the junction. Now 90 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Rush looking for a 7-goal lead. Keenan to Church, shot, oh, off the stick, off the pipe, and it knocked the stick right out of Dunkerley's hands. Keenan barking out the play. Gives to Mans, who floats, now Church. Trying to twist her far side and just miss, and then Mans can't track it back. Picked up by Damon Edwards, one-on-one with Mans, shot, saved by the left arm of Chiliano, and another beautiful save by the Rush goaltender.
Yeah, he's been absolutely dialed tonight. Frank Chiliano's got a tough road ahead of him with a lot of games coming up for the Rush. We only played 10 coming into tonight. Most teams have played 12 and have a couple weeks on this team. But he's sharp in a big game here tonight.
Church to Mans, they play 1-2. Shot by Church, deflected, loose ball, Dodds. 5 on the shot clock. Up top, Zach Mans, back to Dodds, and got deflected, and he couldn't handle it. And that'll be a shot clock violation with 27 seconds remaining in the third. Quickly up, Jake Boudreau putting a little pressure on Brownell. They float it to Madronic. Now Matisse. Ten seconds left in the corner, 15 seconds on the minor. Madronic drives underneath. Bounce shot, oh, he had Chiliano down, but couldn't beat him over the shoulder. And Madronic took a rough ride from Messenger into the boards, and that one stung, and he's slow to get up and off the floor. But it's just been that kind of night for this New York offense. Every time they get a chance, Frank Chiliano is there, and then the big hit follows up. 14-8 is your score. 15 minutes remaining. Rush leading at 14-8. This has been a wild one. Come back, join Chantel, Brad, and myself for the final quarter of regulation. The NLL on TSN. Back in 2022, the Saskatchewan Rush drafted Austin Madronic 6th overall. He was part of a three-team trade that brought Nathaniel Kazevnikov to Saskatchewan, but now Madronic is a proud member of the Riptide. With more, here's Chantel Chan.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with Austin about the trade and about his performance so far this year, and he told me that he was excited because he lived just outside of New York and that he was happy to be closer to home. He also talked about how it was a slower start for him for the year because he was recovering from an Achilles calf injury that made him miss training camp games. Austin said it was tough to be away from the game, and he wasn't 100%, and it was tough because he's always been about those quick little movements, and now he feels he's exactly where he should be. He feels more adjusted to the new system, and he says he's really learned his new teammates. Guys?
Thank you, Chantel. Final quarter of regulation. This is a big one for both of these clubs, and we talked about the scoring woes in the second half for the New York Riptide. They didn't get much there in that second half either. 2 goals. And the Rush got their own scoring and opened up this lead.
Yeah, they're actually just the one. They were outscored 4-1 in that third quarter, and now in a bit of a hole to try to dig out of. Frank Chiliano was stout when they did get inside, but they have to start peppering Frank Chiliano right now.
Sundown! What a feed from Teat, and what a finish by Larson. Sundown keeps his feet out, uses his reach, and goes far side over the shoulder. There's the second RIT goal for the Riptide.
The Arsenal needs to start now. They need to start peppering Frank Chiliano, get him moving, get him coming across the crease. That's exactly what Sundown does here. As he falls inside, good reach. He's ahead of the stick and see more than the eyeballs can as he reaches that one over the shoulders of Chiliano. And Sundown stays hot. Career night last week, scoring 6 against Vegas.
Nice good check there from Inju, but it falls right to Dunkerley. And the Rush going to get called, or the Riptides are going to get called for an 8-second violation. So an unforced error there will give possession back to the Rush. There's Church. All the way behind the net to Zach Mans. Ted Clark, Walter, all of them. And Zach Mans got caught between passing and dunking and just fell over. System shut off.
Just teetered over.
Deacon to Teat. Watched by Holden Garland. Teat plants his feet, takes a shot. Chiliano didn't move on that one, but good thing it missed the corner. Just can't give him time and room like that. You got to get stick on hands and body him. They've done a pretty good job of that all night.
They stacked a ton of bodies in front of Chiliano on that shot to let Teat just rip it from the outside.
Dodds with a head of steam shot. Just put it over top of the net. Thornberry finds that loose ball. They give it off to Teat, fresh off the bench.
Looks to have to go early and often in this quarter.
Teat working with O'Connor on the far side. Now, Kiernan shot short side. Oh, it almost snuck past Chiliano. The big man able to keep the wickets closed.
It's a good save. The east-west movement. Teat skips it across. Chiliano has to slide over, but he does it in time to take it away from Kiernan.
Church. One-on-one with Noseworthy. Near side to Zach Mans. Runs off the key to pick back to Church. 10 on the shot clock. Dodds, bump pick, flashes, shot by Church, put it wide. Brownell with a chance to run here, but good job by Keenan to get off early. Brownell, backside look, Taggart Clark. We talked about the scoring depth for this New York team. They really need to get Connor Kiernan going. He's only got 1 point so far here tonight. As Medronic tiptoes the line, and will just throw in the far corner. Sundown battles for that loose ball as he always does. Takes a shot from a tough angle, never put it on target. And the shot clock will end. Good defense there by the Rush as Sundown keeps the motor going.
And that's what he'll provide. He's been their second best goal scorer this season. Multitude of different shots, multitude of different ways to score his goals, tries to keep it alive.
Messenger with an individual effort couldn't pull the trigger, then that pass doesn't connect with Dodds. Edwards gonna run onto him. Slow numbers here for New York. Edwards to Ron John, back to Edwards. He did the same thing Zach Mans does.
The Mans, they get caught up there. They don't want to keep the momentum from falling into the crease, but he does it anyways.
4 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. One goal so far from Larson. Sundown on the Riptide. Cut the lead to 5. Mans couldn't pull the trigger on the backhand. Watched there by Callum Jones. This has been a good matchup all night. Jones on Mans. Down low, Clark Walter trying to jam it 5-hole on Dunkerley. And the young netminder makes a key save here to keep it a 5-goal game with 11:11 to go. Riley O'Connor, Teat with a backdoor cut, scores. Sometimes it's that easy for a guy like Jeff Teat. Mike Mallory got caught ball watching, and Teat pulled the string, and it's a 4-goal game.
You take your eyes off Jeff, you blink, and you take your eyes off Jeff Teat, and he goes. And he's deceptive too. He's hanging out looking like he's just gonna wait, but then that backdoor cut, he's just gone. And a nice lob pass for Jeff Teat's 3rd of the night. Goes down awkwardly after that shot as well, so we'll keep an eye on 51. 4-goal game.
Just on the bench below us, getting some work from the trainers, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Messenger finds out who's ball for the Rush. All of a sudden, it's a 4-goal game. Here's Keenan. Late man is Mans. Keenan, Kazebnikov, back to Keenan, 10 on the shot clock. Rush really taking advantage, trying to use as much time as they can. Step back shot for Mans, put it wide. And I know they want to eat clock, but there's still a lot of time left here in this fourth quarter, Brad. It's not exactly sit on it time.
No, not yet. And if you're the Riptide too, like, you have to go, but you also have to be responsible about the short change that the Rush have in this quarter. The second quarter, they gave up a couple transition opportunities, shooting Ryan Keenan out of the cannon.
Sundown's got another. Give him 4. That's 10 in his past 2 games. He came in with 22. And it's a 3-goal game with 10:03 to play.
They're coming alive. They've outshot the Rush now 45-37. As they get a couple late shots on Frank Chiliano. I think we get a timeout here by the Saskatchewan Rush to maybe give their goaltender a little breather. They sense the pressure, they sense some momentum.
That's an interesting one, calling that timeout now, because now you don't have one later on. If you need one to call a timeout, last possession, and we're 5 seconds away from a TV timeout. I'm not one to question Derek Keenan, but
yeah, conversely is they know they can feel this momentum building a little bit, and I think they know Frank Chiliano's got getting peppered right now, has a heavy workload in front of him. I'm not calling this load management, but it's almost game management. Let's take this break now and reset, rather than let New York get another 1 or 2.
Yeah, good point, Brad.
So he'll make his way back to the pipes, but Jeff Teat looks like
he's just stretching things out on the bench.
Yeah, he kind of fell on his own, maybe cramped up after that goal, that sprint.
Loose ball off the draw. Boudreau in there battling with Ron John. They'll be picked up by Kevin Brownell. Brownell, also a draft pick of the Buffalo Bandits back in 2012. Spent 9 seasons in Buffalo. Now a member of the Riptide. O'Connor to Ron John, is playing a couple shifts, so check that out. That's Sundown. Boudreau blocked it. Picked up the loose ball. Gonna run 3-on-2 here. Walter in the middle, wide open, couldn't handle the pass. Loose ball, Marinier. Float up the head, LaFontaine. Just watched there by Mike Triolo. And Teats back out on the floor for the Riptide, so good news for Riptide fans. 51 back out there. Watched by Mike Messenger. 1-on-1. Swim move, step back. Oh, and he just lost it the last minute, as he was able to swim past Messenger, but couldn't finish it off. Barnable, Walter, Garland, and then the pass back to Walter didn't connect.
2 transition opportunities, the last 2 trips up the floor for the Rush that haven't really resulted in anything, some tough decision making.
Robert Church with 8 on the shot clock. Works off the Dodds pick to Mans. Gotta get a shot off. Inside feed from Clark. Walter shot saved there by Dunkerley. New York trying to push the tempo here. Backside, O'Connor on his wrong side. Giuliano had to be careful with that one, parried away with the right glove. Hidden ball trick, had the defense for a minute. Now Teat. Watched there by Jared Smith. Inside, O'Connor scores! It's a 3-goal game. The patience from Teat and the finish by O'Connor. And look at the energy on the Riptide bench now.
They are fired up, and the chemistry between these two Jeff Teat and Riley O'Connor, something special. Connor's been a big part of Jeff Teat's emergence as arguably the best player in the game. His mentorship, his leadership, his dirty work alongside him, and he slips himself open. Rush defense not able to read it as he comes right on top of the doorstep to beat Giuliano. This was a 6-goal game not too long ago, Teddy, and now it's a 2-goal game.
The emotion from Jeff Teat on every goal is one of the things I like most about him. Just shows how much he wants to bring success to this club. I go back to that game in Toronto here on TSN early in the season where he was struggling with the shots. You could see and hear him and how upset he was and frustrated he was. But he just cares so much. As Sundown a little too aggressive on the pick on Messenger. He would have been in all alone. But the Riptide have made this a ball game. It's 14-12. You're not going to want to miss the end of this one. Come back and join us on TSN. Larson Sundown was originally drafted by New York back in 2020, and he has fit in so well with this organization, and he just loves to play a dirty game of lacrosse.
Finds himself open on the doorstep. Great second chance guy. He can sniff out a loose ball, crash the crease. He's able to get open and get feeds from Jeff Teat. He let some range show tonight with 2 outside heaters, and he's got career highs in goals. Member of the Haudenosaunee national team, and I think winning a Mann Cup this past summer with 6 Nations and a chance to play alongside Cody Jamieson, Lyle Thompson. Learned so much, and he's brought that to the New York Riptide this season. And what a night he's having here in Saskatchewan.
It's a 2-goal game with 7.5 to play in regulation. Buckle up, folks. We're in for a fantastic finish. Here come the rush. Clark Walter to Ryan Keating. Triolo flashes. Walter on his wrong side, gives it off to Triolo with 15 on the shot clock. Triolo working, swims past Edwards. Dive shot scored, what a goal! From a near impossible angle. A huge goal by Mike Triolo.
And look at that Selly as he gets this building standing up again and stops the New York run. Edwards with some pretty good defense, gives him an angle, pushes him below goal line extended, but Triolo able to fight away from the pressure, swim inside, and dive for his hat-trick goal over the shoulder of Dunkerley. The Rush get their 3-goal lead back.
Yeah, much needed goal for this Rush team to stop that run by the New York Riptide and put a little distance back between these 2 clubs.
10th of the season.
LaFontaine trying to find somebody to pass to. Will float it near side Riley O'Connor. Late change here for the Riptide, just getting the full offense now with 14 on the shot clock. Kieran Madronic. Kyle Matisse. Now Teat far side. They try to ISO it on Adam J. Skip pass to Kieran, doesn't connect. Good sticks in the middle by the Rush defense.
And short cloth, they're trying to run a set play for Kieran to circle around through the zone and get that attempt. But the buzzer goes, and the Rush back on offense.
Dodds. Walter back to Dodds. Shot blocked by Noseworthy. He soaked that one. Dodds finds his own rebound though. Double teamed on the far side, runs to space, forces it into Mans. And Mans will just dump it down at Dunkerley as the shot clock was expired.
Good job by Dodds on that loose ball against Noseworthy. Big physical presence, pressuring the kid into the wall. And they kill another 7 seconds.
Teat, one-on-one with Messenger. Now picked up by Connor McClellan. Teat drives, shot, turned aside by Giuliano. Loose ball, Kieran in. Oh, it was blocked by Messenger, and he gets his own rebound. He's going to run up the floor. But his teammates bail on him. And now he'll try to flip it to Mans and turns it over, and that's a costly unforced error by Mike Messenger. An unlikely one, too.
Yeah, those are the ones that in New York, you make people pay for your mistakes, and you get a free possession here off that throwaway.
Kiernan. Tricky bounce pass all the way across the floor to Teat. And he can't find him, but McCullough does. Team trade unforced errors. Mallory, Kazemnikov takes a bump there from Edwards and then throws a one-handed trick shot that Dunkley had to be wary of. Under 5 minutes to go here in regulation. 3-goal game, Rush and Riptide. They'll play each other again next weekend on Long Island. Teat from the wrong side, bouncer just missed. Mike Triolo has a hat trick. He's got his team up 15-12. The big man's fired up. Can they see this one all the way through to the finish? Welcome back inside SaskTel Center. 15-12 is your score to the Rush and the Riptide. We talk about how important this game is for Saskatchewan. Their schedule down the stretch, Brad, isn't very kind.
3 games in 5 days. The National Lacrosse League is unheard of. There was a snow out here in Saskatchewan earlier in the season where the Rush could not make it down to Philly. So they're going to have to replay that game. I think it's a Wednesday night, March 28th, but you don't see that a lot in the National Lacrosse League. But there's a heavy workload ahead for Frank Chiliano and for this Rush team who have played just 10 games this season. San Diego in there, Calgary twice, Toronto, Georgia, formidable opponents. So that's why a win here tonight is so paramount for the rest of this stretch.
And that one game on April 5th, you'll be able to see right here on TSN. There's Church driving, turned aside by the left arm of Dunkley. Loose ball, picked up by Noseworthy. Headmans it to Brownell. Now Riley O'Connor with it. Renier will go for a late change. To Teat driving. Oh, what a shoulder save by Chiliano. That was timely. Teat just brush picked his way to the middle. Nice feed from O'Connor. Now O'Connor will come off a pick. Teat had his stick ripped out of his hands. Penalty coming to the rug. As Teat fights for that loose ball. And it'll be the first time we will see the #1 power play in the NLL that belongs to the Riptide.
What a time to take the first penalty of the night for Saskatchewan. Under 4 to go, 3-goal game. And Jeff Teat and the Riptide offense will go to work. Messenger drew a penalty earlier. Now he's going to take a holding call.
Holding the stick is the call. Just watch Teat, watch Messenger. Just grabs onto his stick, rips it out of his hands. Not exactly the most egregious holding the stick call. But here comes the power play. O'Connor will set it up. Sundown, Matisse, Kieran, and Jeff Teat who has it now. Teat to Kieran. Back to Teat, scores! That's simple. 13 seconds on the power play. And Teat's got a 4-goal game, and it's back to a 2-goal game, 15-13.
And what a beautiful, beautiful give and go by Teat and Kieran. Against the defense and the goaltender's head just spinning. They got to go back and forth, back and forth. That's a shot for Kieran. Like, most players are going to take that all day. But he goes back across to Jeff Teat, who's all smiles and has his team within 2.
Smart thing about Teat there, after he made the pass, kept his feet moving, found himself a lane to accept that pass, and then put it down at Chiliano's feet to avoid the big stick coming across to make that save, much like we saw Matt Vince do earlier tonight in that Toronto Buffalo game. Here's Kiernan to O'Connor. Can they get to within 1? Teat drives, watched there by Barnable. Teat gets it right back, comes off a Kiernan pick, plants his feet, shoots far side, just missed, and it'll go off the glass and out of play with 3:13 remaining. Here comes Messenger. Bounce pass to the captain, Ryan Keating. Mans takes a couple chops inside. Kazemnikov scores! Backside cut by Kazemnikov, and he put it far side on Dunkerley. quick response by the Rush. It's back to a 3-goal game.
They get back on track. This is how the ball was swinging earlier tonight with the Saskatchewan Rush. They haven't had a lot of these opportunities here in quarter number 4. But a good look from Keenan. Pass across the zone, and just a stick on Kneznikov is too late as Ranjan is just swinging. That's not going to stop Nathaniel from crashing the crease. As we get a flag on this one, Teddy.
Yeah, Kneznikov's bright green shoes might have touched the smallest bit of white. So Dan Ladouceur throws the flag, and Chris Williams will go for a review in the booth. Here's a look at Dan Ladouceur, the man they call the big dog. Oh, I think that's good. As we see it as you're watching on your TV. Thoughts, Brad?
Looks pretty clean to me unless this ball doesn't go in. Does it hit the post first before he lands? Nah. I think this is pretty good.
There's another replay. So the foot's good for sure.
It's good on takeoff. Ball's in there before he lands. Yeah, this goal should stand for the Saskatchewan Rush to get themselves a little bit more breathing room. Up by 3 with just under 3 to go.
So it should be Kneznikov's first of the game, 9th of the season. But this is a big moment in this game. It's either going to be a 3-goal game with 3 minutes left, or will stay a 2-goal game. And Chris Williams, I believe, has his answer. And we will see where we stand. Chris Williams, what says you, my friend?
The shooter leaves clean, and the ball crosses the goal line before he touches down. We got a good goal.
The goal stands. Kneznikov has 9 on the season, and it is a 3-goal game with 3 minutes remaining. Crunch time now for the New York Riptide.
His first of the night, and the only offensive player that hasn't scored yet tonight is Clark Walter for the Saskatchewan Rush. They're almost matching their highest offensive output of the season. They put up 17 against Vegas. They've got 16 here tonight with lots of lacrosse left to go.
It'll be Thornberg and Messenger at the dot.
Messenger's done a good job mucking it up tonight as he normally does. There's been a few violations on Thornberg, but certainly not dominant performance from the all-time leading face-off winner in the NLL.
Nice job by Ranjan to pick up that loose ball in traffic. Here comes Cam Dunkley, 6 on 5 for the New York Riptide. Is Adam Jade gives O'Connor a rough ride to the end sideboards. Kiernan to Teat. Kiernan back to Teat. Couldn't pull the trigger. Kiernan, one more sundown shot, just missed. And then that ball bounced off Garland's stick and off the back of Chiliano. And now they haven't got Dunkley out on the floor yet. And they're just keeping him on the bench. Not something you see too often from an NLL team, just keeping their goalie out and holding. Sorry, Boudreau's got the hat trick. 3 for number 73. Sorry, number 43 has 3.
Could have gone a lot earlier, but thought, hey, why don't I just rag a couple more ticks off this clock and then cash in my easiest goal of the night. 17 for the Saskatchewan Rush as the Riptide roll the dice and not aggressive enough on Boudreau as O'Connor stares him down.
So Dunkerley back between the pipes. Now a 4-goal game with 2:08 remaining. By my account, Brad, Boudreau's got a 5-point night out of the back end.
Yeah, that was not on the bingo card coming into this one, but there's been like 6 or 7 transition goals for the Rush tonight. Well-rounded offensive output.
Here comes Dunkley again to the bench. Matisse. Kiernan to Matisse. Works inside, scores top corner. Don't go anywhere yet. Matisse finds the back of the net. His second of the night, 18 on the season. Back to a 3-goal game.
They locked off Jeff Teat on this play. You'll see the top left of your screen. McClellan just takes Teat out of the picture. It's still basically a power play set because you're like 5-on-4 with Dunkerley out of the box. And Matisse reaches over the shoulder of Chiliano, his second of the night. Still anybody's game.
Dormer and Messenger. We'll go back to the face-off dot. Under 2 minutes to play. All goals that should be reviewed will get reviewed. They don't have to review everything, but crunch time like this with a lot of bodies near the crease, Chris Williams will just make sure that nobody was in the crease, and this looks to me to be a pretty clean angle. And Williams has enough evidence.
Confirmed, good goal.
So it is a 3-goal game with 1:54 to go. Shots 51-43 in favor of the Riptide, who trail by 3. Saskatchewan was 4-6 coming in. The Riptide 6-7. A win for New York would have launched them back up the standings, probably into a playoff spot. For the Rush, a win here will get them closer to a playoff spot. And they'll head to New York with house money if they can hold on to this win. O'Connor, Teat being shut down by Jay again. Matisse, shot blocked. Might have gotten a piece of Chiliano. They say it did. Reset the shot clock.
Basically just giving the Riptide a free power play, 5-on-4 with Teat under the pitcher.
Matisse scores 2-goal game.
And they feed the big man again. It's like a power play set with the outside rip here. 5-on-4, you have numbers, great ball movement, and the Riptide stay alive with Jeff Teat out of the pitcher. Nice low to high raised shot here by Kyle Matisse, who had 2 inside tight goals tonight. This time he lets his outside prowess flex. 2-goal lead.
I wonder if those fans that started leaving have quickly turned back and run to their seats. Minute 18 remaining in regulation. Can New York get to within 1? Last time was a 1-goal lead, was 4-3.
It's been a while.
It's Bobby Kidd III. Running to space, gives it off to Messenger. Back to BK3. Keenan, 8 seconds on the shot clock.
New York's gonna be more aggressive on the ball here.
And New York, for Saskatchewan, will ice it in the corner. Dunkerley to the bench, quickly up ahead. Teat just getting across center now. Madronic. Matisse shot just missed. Loose ball, Teat. Matisse off the crossbar. Up over the netting and out of play. 25.7 remaining. Riptide gotta go quick. Matisse, backhand feed. Sundown, fakes it. Pass to Kieran, deflected. Barnable can't find it. Chiliano does. He's got an empty net. Does he want to go for it? Fans yelling at him too. And it hit the scoreboard.
Some indecision there. He was wondering if he was going to be back in before he nailed that one out.
Oh, and the pass O'Connor dropped, and that'll be the game. And the Rush hold on for a 2-goal win. It was dicey at times, but they did just enough to take the first of 2 games back-to-back against the Riptide.
32-goal game between the Rush and the Riptide tonight. Offenses came out flexing their muscle. Rush led by 6 at one point. A very quiet third quarter by the Riptide. They sure made things interesting. But Chiliano with a couple key saves down the stretch. Lift the Rush.
So let's take a look at your updated standings in the NLL as it stands right now. That win by Saskatchewan puts them in 9th, right behind Panther City, and they launch ahead of the New York Riptide. Next weekend's game just becomes that much more important.
Yeah, check the bulbs in the goal lights on Long Island. We'll see if we're in another one. You know, that's what I love about these home and home series, is that these teams now, it's not unfamiliar anymore like it was in the first half of this game. They've got tape to go through. They know how quick and deceptive Jeff Teed is now. They know what to expect from Chiliano and Dunkerley, and they can use this as a chess match for next week.
Time now for your TSN Turning Point, brought to you by NLLstore.ca. And it was just a play of Frank Chiliano down the stretch, just coming up with key saves after key saves. It was dicey at times. He let a few in late, but he's down on the floor with our Chantel Chen.
Frank, you made key save after key save down the stretch. With 7 minutes left to go in the fourth, it came down to a 2-goal game. I saw you talking to the entire bench. What were you telling your teammates?
Yeah, just got to keep our composure, right? You know, down the stretch there, it got a little hairy, but we were able to stick it out.
Now, you guys have moved into 9th place. You're ahead of the Riptide now, and you're facing them again next week. How good does it feel to get this win at home against them?
Yeah, obviously it's nice to take this one, right? But, you know, our back's against our wall to get into the playoffs here, so every game matters going forward.
Every game does matter, and you guys are playing 3 games in 5 nights. Tell me, that's a lot of games. What do you think that's going to do on the body for you guys, and how do you get through that time?
Yeah, I think we're just taking it one game at a time down that stretch there. That's a little bit different than we're used to in this league, but a little bit of adversity never really hurts, so we're just going to run with it here.
Congrats on the big one.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Teddy, Brad.
Thank you, Chantel, and thank you, Frank, who had 40 saves on the night.
And it's going to be up to Frank Chiliano how far this team goes later in the season, especially during this dicey stretch coming up. They will go as far as Frank Chiliano can take them. But if they can get 17 goals, they'll be in pretty good hands too. They dictated the pace of this game tonight. New York matched it in the fourth quarter. They were able to find their legs, but if the Saskatchewan Rush can fling the ball around like they were doing, push the tempo, and get some good minutes by Frank Chiliano, this could be a dangerous team in the last stage of the season.
We're going to take a few weeks off for March Madness and cool the jets, but don't forget, April 5th, Saskatchewan versus Calgary. It all starts at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. This was a game shot out of a cannon to start. 6 goals on 6 shots, and the goaltender settled down. But when you see a game with 32 goals, you know it was an offensive explosion, and we were treated to just that. Saskatchewan wins at 17-15 over the Riptide. They'll meet each other again next weekend on Long Island. You can watch that game on TSN+. For Chantel, Brad, myself, and our entire crew, thanks for tuning in to the NLL on TSN. Until we speak again, stay safe and be excellent to each other.